Welcome and settle in. It's a chilly time of year, and we know that sometimes learning can feel like, well, a bit of a big effort when the days are cold and quiet.
It definitely can.
So today, we're making it cozy. We're starting a very special deep dive, and we want this to be a calm, supportive guide for anyone looking to improve their everyday English during this winter season.
Yeah.
This is a big part of what we do here at Fluent Mindcast, just providing that easy, real-life language practice.
And our source material for this is perfect for that. It focuses entirely on simple, natural phrases, the kind you hear in daily winter routines.
Right.
So our mission for you, the learner, is to really internalize these expressions. We're going to use a slow, natural pace with gentle pauses. And we really encourage you to focus on the pronunciation, the rhythm, and just pause and repeat these phrases out loud. No pressure, no self-judgment.
Okay, let's unpack this then. We're going to walk through a typical winter day from the moment you wake up to settling in for the night.
Yep.
And we'll focus on those simple, natural phrases that, well, that make you sound truly fluent.
Let's do it.
So winter mornings, they really change the way people start their day. It's this shared seasonal experience, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
So what are the key phrases that really capture this slower pace?
Well, the first one is probably the most relatable. It's hard to get out of bed.
Yes, the universal truth.
It is. And right along with that, you hear people say, mornings feel slower in winter.
And these are so common because, the lack of sunlight just makes everything feel a bit heavier, a bit quieter.
Exactly. They are simple, but they're incredibly natural. And talking about slow mornings is just a gentle way to connect with people.
At work, at home.
Anywhere, even in a quick text message. It's a social lubricant. It normalizes that feeling of low energy.
So it's not really a complaint, it's more of a shared understanding.
It's a shared understanding. You're giving each other permission to feel a little bit quieter. And what's really fascinating is that this feeling is directly tied to a behavior. Our sources pointed out that in many countries, these slow winter mornings lead to much higher coffee consumption.
Of course.
People feel less energetic. So it's this global ritual of warmth and caffeine. That simple phrase becomes a kind of gentle invitation for a coffee break.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so once you've finally gotten out of bed, committing to getting dressed is the next step.
The next hurdle.
Right. And it often becomes its own small, practical conversation topic.
It does. You'll hear things like, I need to wear extra layers.
A classic.
Or a very common one is, it's cold enough for a heavy coat today.
Right. It's so practical. Depends on the temperature, the wind, even just your mood.
And that's why they're so useful. These phrases connect language directly to your daily habits. You use them when you're leaving the house, meeting friends. It's real life stuff.
And there was a surprising detail here, a sort of fun curiosity in the sources.
There was. It's a great little contradiction. You'd assume that people in really cold countries would have these complex ways of talking about clothes.
But it's the opposite.
It's the opposite. People in colder countries usually dress more simply. It's the visitors who tend to overdo the winter clothes.
Piling on sweaters they don't need.
Exactly. It's that local's wisdom coming through. When a local says, I need to wear extra layers, it's a very precise statement. It's based on efficiency, not a guess.
So the simple language actually reflects a kind of mastery over the cold.
That's a great way to put it. It's direct communication about a practical need.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. How do we describe that physical feeling of stepping outside, moving through that colder world?
That abrupt transition, yeah, that's a huge driver of conversation. The sources highlight these really descriptive phrases like, the cold hit me as soon as I stepped outside.
Hit me. That's such a strong verb choice for a casual phrase.
It is, isn't it? It reflects the shock of it. And that physical shift immediately changes our behavior.
How so?
We walk faster. We talk less when we're outside. And that leads to the other common observation.
The streets are quieter in winter.
Exactly. And that's not just about less traffic. It's a reflection of us, of people. The cold forces us to minimize our social interaction until we can get back inside.
It's true. The whole world just seems to pull inward and quiet down. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about fuel. Winter triggers this emotional shift in what we eat. It's all about comfort and warmth.
Oh, absolutely. The craving for comfort food.
What are the phrases that really capture that?
Well, one is very direct. I crave warm food in winter.
You just feel it.
You do. And the other one is a simple observation of pure satisfaction. Soup feels perfect on cold days.
It just does.
It just does. And the language here is so fascinating because it's less about nutrition and more about ritual.
Ritual, that's a good word for it.
The sources emphasize that winter meals are often slower, more intentional, and the simplicity of these phrases, using words like crave and feels perfect, shows that the meal is connected to emotion.
And creates such an easy, cozy conversation.
The easiest. And so many cultures associate winter food with family and tradition. So talking about warm meals is an effortless way to bond. It's a linguistic shortcut to contentment.
As the sun sets earlier and earlier, our attention really turns indoors. How do we talk about this seasonal shift in our lifestyle?
The language here is really focused on expressing a preference without sounding, negative or antisocial.
Right, you don't want to sound like you're rejecting people.
Exactly. So you get phrases like, I stay home more during winter.
Simple fact.
Or a bit more directly, cold weather makes me less social.
But isn't there a risk of that sounding like a complaint? Or just an excuse for being lazy?
That's a great question. But it stops being a complaint because the language blames the season, not yourself.
So the cold weather is the external agent. It's not a personal flaw.
Precisely. It's a cultural acceptance that winter encourages rest and reflection. You're just stating a seasonal fact and everyone gets it. It's no surprise that winter is a huge season for reading and watching series.
That cultural permission to rest. It extends to the evening itself, doesn't it? We often romanticize winter nights.
We do. And we use really simple language to capture that atmosphere when we say something like, winter nights feel peaceful.
Or I enjoy quiet evenings in winter.
Yes, we're actively creating this narrative of comfort. And what's curious is that the language is often linked to simple sensory things.
Like
Candles, warm lights, calm music. These phrases just help us express contentment gently.
So let's move to some of the really practical, everyday stuff. The talk around health, work, social plans, things that have to keep going, starting with health.
Okay. So the language of winter health is usually observational and communal. It's not really clinical.
Right.
So when people say, I'm trying to stay warm, it's a practical way to talk about how you feel.
And it's almost an invitation for someone to say, oh, you should wear a scarf.
Exactly. It's a gentle way to receive that unsolicited advice. And then there's the big one, the communal acknowledgement. Everyone seems to catch a cold in winter.
It just normalizes it. Makes it feel less like a personal failure.
Yes, and the sources mention that so much of this winter health talk comes more from family advice than from strict medical guidance. It's just deeply ingrained.
And what about work and productivity? Because our focus definitely feels different when it's dark outside most of the day.
Yeah, this is where the language is used to manage professional expectations. You'll hear phrases like, it's harder to focus on cold days.
Guilty.
We all are. Or, winter makes me work a bit slower. These are crucial phrases. They normalize the need for a slower pace.
And what's so interesting is that they don't really come across as excuses.
They don't. They're seen as relatable observations. The sources even pointed out that some countries actually adjust work schedules slightly in winter.
Wow.
Which just proves that this conversational language reflects a very real, measurable societal shift.
Okay, and finally, social plans. When the weather just makes you want to stay in, our language has to shift to manage that politely.
Absolutely. It helps you communicate your preferences without making a big fuss. So when suggesting a simpler alternative, you might just say, let's keep it simple.
Nice and easy.
Or if you want to suggest a change of venue, that friendly phrase, maybe we'll stay in tonight.
And it's not seen as rude.
Not at all. Cold weather encourages smaller, quieter plans, more intimate gatherings, home dinners. These expressions just help you manage expectations in a really friendly way.
So after all of this, what does it all mean? We've looked at dozens of these simple, repetitive phrases. The everyday English for winter routines seems to go way beyond just simple actions. It touches on feelings, reflection, even cultural permissions.
It does. Winter is culturally associated with this rest and reset period. And being able to express that emotional shift adds serious depth to your conversations.
So phrases like, winter makes me slow down.
Yes, or the more introspective, I feel more reflective during winter.
And the insight here is so crucial for fluency, isn't it? The simplicity of the language is actually its power.
That's it, exactly. Natural English is often simple and repetitive because those simple phrases are the most efficient tools for social connection.
They just work.
They do. That simplicity is actually the marker of fluency. It shows confidence in everyday situations.
So the big lesson is you don't need complicated vocabulary to sound intelligent or fluent. You just need the right, culturally relevant, simple phrases.
Precisely. And we just want to emphasize that for you, the learner, don't ever feel awkward using these simple phrases. Focus on your comfort, your rhythm when you speak. The phrases are already doing the heavy social lifting for you.
We really hope this deep dive has given you a calm, steady toolkit for navigating conversations this season, understanding not just the words, but the deep cultural reasons behind them. Consistent, gentle practice with these real-life phrases, that's what leads to real progress.
And since we've established that winter is a time for rest and reflection, we'd encourage you to notice which of these routines and phrases, from the slow mornings to the quiet evenings, which ones feel most natural and useful for your daily life.
That's a great final thought.
That's your next layer of practice, making the language truly yours.
Thank you so much for joining us for this cozy deep dive. Keep that practice gentle and consistent, and you can always find more trusted spaces for calm, real-life English practice during the winter season right here at Fluent Mindcast.